Start over. I got to start over. Okay, so welcome everybody to another episode of Prospects After Dark. This is part 2 of the draft episode. We are doing part 2, and I'm in a different shirt all of a sudden because the Cardinals are drafting 59th overall, their second round pick. We have a couple of thoughts already. Again, I'm Kyle. Let me start over. I'm going too fast. My name is Kyle Reese. I am the host of this little thing for Birds on the Black and Prospects After Dark. It's hard to turn it off and then turn it back on, the energy level. So just give me a second to get going. I'm going to try to slow myself down and we'll see where it goes. Torts Illustrated, one of our friends, says he's looking forward to maybe Brock Jones or Carson Whisenhunt or Jacob Melton if he makes it to the Cardinals. If any of these guys make it to the Cardinals, the Braves pick and then the Mariners pick, both picks are in. Now, I will say that for me, when I look at the board, the guy that I want is Tucker Tomlin. That's the guy. I do like Jacob Melton. I do like Judd Fabian. I like Walter Ford, Kate Doherty. But for me, as much as, I don't know what Brock Porter's, I don't know what his bonus looks like. But Gray Simpkins over on YouTube says, and also Torts Illustrated was saying, is I would understand if the Cardinals did draft Brock Porter, if they thought that they could sign him, that would be a great pick. That'd be a great fall. Again, we'll see what the Braves do. We'll see what the Mariners do, but there's a lot to go here. Cunnilingus says, love the shirt, Kyle. Love you, miss you. Cunnilingus, I miss you. So what I did is I made a cocktail, and I'm using a sparkling watermelon water with limoncello and vodka. So do you guys? Spencer_STL says, I just paused Equalizer 2 for this. I don't know what that is. GM Gurr says, Tucker Tomlin, please. I have no idea who the Braves just took. Can somebody help me out there? That my whole little thing just kind of like collapsed there. But yeah, so now we just wait on the Mariners. We see what the Mariners have to do. I have to do some adjusting. No Melendez pain from Josh Neary. Yeah, Josh, when the Diamondbacks selected Melendez, I felt really bad for you right away. I know that you were really banking on Ivan Melendez being there for the Cardinals at 59. It didn't happen. I have no problems, no qualms at all with Cole Phillips going to the Braves. I think that's a good spot for the big prep arm, the righty big prep arm. Again, for me, now we just wait and hope the Mariners don't snipe him. But the guy that I would want in this spot, I like Brock Jones. I like Brock Porter. Again, I don't know what Brock Porter's signing is going to be, how much it's going to take to sign him. I would think that would come into play here, especially since he was supposed to be a top 10, top 15 pick. And now you're talking about a player who's falling to the mid 50s, the late 50s. I would suspect that means he's probably going to go find his way back to school unless somebody's going to offer him a substantial amount of money, which I just don't think the Cardinals are going to be able to offer. So for me, it's Tucker Tomlin. If he would take that, again, I would not necessarily have a problem with Tyler Locklear. The Mariners select Tyler Locklear, who was the Bash brother with Chase DeLauder in the Cape Cod League last year. So the Cardinals are on the clock, and they've got a lot of ways to go. Again, the guy that I'm going to say that they draft is Tucker Tomlin, the switch-hitting third baseman, the prep third baseman, who has more power, more polish left-handed. Yeah. So hold on. I want to get to some stuff here. We've got a bunch. Carson Rowan on YouTube says, Kyle, as a diehard Cardinal fan, I see you on Twitter constantly and have always been confused as to whether or not you work for them. I don't work for the Cardinals, no. And the Cardinals would go out of their way to make sure that I never work for them. And I'm also not good enough to work for them. But yeah, look, I'm just an asshole who tweets a bunch of stuff and also gifts a bunch of games. Look, I take pride in providing free content for people at a time when everything costs so much and getting insider information costs so much. So I take pride in the fact that I can provide that for people in gift form and information form. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Holy Shield says Judd Fabian. Look, I like Judd Fabian. If Judd Fabian is the Cardinals pick at 59, I'm on board for it. Go over here a little bit over on Twitter. GM Gurr says, yes, we're on the same page. Colonel Angus says, I'm drinking a nice liquid IV, but I will drink to you. To you, Colonel Angus, I hope you're okay, bud. I have a bunch of people telling me that Cole Phillips was the pick for the Braves. Sorry, I had a whole thing happen. I missed it. Brett Highland 2 says, Cards got to snag Brock Jones. Again, it just depends on if they think they can sign him. They'll end up knowing what his signing number is. They'll end up knowing how much it's going to cost to sign him. And if it's going to cost $3 million to sign Brock Jones, the Cardinals probably just don't have that much money. The slot for the 59th overall pick is like 1.25, right around $1.25 million. And it's hard to scrape together that extra money from your top 10 rounds in order to sign someone. So if he wants a $3 million signing bonus, there's no reason to draft him. It's a waste of time. Aaron Jones, you are the man. Who are you calling to be picked? I'll say Tucker Tomlin. I love Tucker Tomlin at the spot. Again, I don't know if the Cardinals will go in that direction. Oh, boy. The Cardinals go with University of San Diego lefty Bryson Moutts, who I honestly, I'm not even going to pretend to know shit about. Let me see what I can find out, fam. Let me see what I can find out. Bryson Moutts. Which, again, it's not the direction that I would go in. See, this is why Moutts. So according to Baseball America, he's the number 95 overall prospect, Bryson Moutts. He has a 50-grade fastball, 55-grade slider, 30-grade changeup, and control. I'm going to go to Twitter, and we're going to see what they have to say. BRYCE. Hold on. I don't even know how to spell this guy's name. Now, again, the Cardinals going off the grid here a little bit. BRYCENMAUTZ. USD. All right, we're going to watch some video of him, and we're going to kind of go over some stuff. So Cole Hamill and Max Fried vibes. How funny. Again, I don't buy it, but it's whatever. Again, you know what? Again, it's somebody I don't know a lot about. And I'm trying not to be critical because I don't want to be. Would you mount Mounts? I would, Zach. Zach, if you told me to mount Mounts, I would mount Mounts. He's number 69 on MLB's pipeline. Again, it seems like the issue with Mounts is that Cards got to snag Brock Jones. It didn't happen. Don't tell yourself short, Kyle. You're the bomb. Thank you, Colonel Angus. I'm a mess. Do you change shirts after round one? I did. I was wearing the shirt I was wearing before. And I took the tie off too. I'm sorry about that. That's on me. Hold on. That's on me. Again, this is unprepared. I thought for sure it'd be somebody like Tucker Tomlin. Mott let me tell you what MLB wrote on him. Mott spent the first 2 years of his career at the University of San Diego, largely pitching out of the pen, though he did make 5 starts in 2021. The 6'4" left-hander always had swing and miss stuff, but he stepped it up at an entirely different level this spring. His fastball sits in the low 90s more often than not, and is topped out at 95 as a starter this year, though he's been 96 to 97 in short stints. Coming from a very deceptive three-quarter arm slot, the excellent arm speed, the pitch features a ton of sink, a ton of sink and hard running life, getting a lot of ground ball outs along with missing bats. He tunnels his low 80s slider off of his fastball very well, a big reason that his huge strikeout rate, as hitters don't see the pitch well. Okay, so here's what we know about him so quick. And again, and it's his birthday today, apparently. Drafted Bartolo. Okay, so I love your passion in minor leagues. Knowledge, but you could give Woodpecker a headache. I agree, Terry. If Randy Flores we trust, I'm back from putt-putt where I got a hole in one. Suck it, losers, what I missed. Brock Porter, how do you say Mounts? Great, we got Jerpy, and now this. Jokes for decades. Hope they last that long. Twitter is working again. Didn't even realize the Jerpy spelling. Laughed my ass off. All lefties all the time. Apparently, it's his birthday today. Cheers to him. All right, so to Bryson Moutts, we raise our glass again. So this is not a player that I even cared about. Honestly, I knew that he was a top 70, top 80 prospect. He's a player I didn't care about. I watched a little bit of video, and here's the hoping that the Cardinals make the most out of him. To me, he's just like a poor man's Zach Thompson. I think that they're hoping that the slider and his fastball continue to like play off of each other really well, but I just don't think he has a third offering. I think his changeup is bunk, and I think he did really well against Vanderbilt, but that doesn't mean anything to me. Not to be critical of what the Cardinals did here, but I think they missed on this pick. I think this is the kind of guy that you would maybe hold off in the third round for. Now, if you don't think you can get him and maybe he comes cheap, then that's it. But, I'm not going to lie to you. I like many of the other options at the spot. Now, maybe some of those options will be there in the third round. And again, they deserve credit because this kid, he strikes out a lot of people, and hold on, I want to make sure I have all of the information in front of me before I start running my stupid mouth. So he struck out 129 and 90.2 innings. He also let up 15 home runs while only walking 22. When I watch him pitch, and just a little bit of clips that I saw, including on the stuff on MLB Network, I'm not really impressed. It's kind of like a poor man Zach Thompson. Now, his fastball velocity was up. There were a lot of positive signs. The strikeouts have kind of always been there, although they seem to really manifest. To me, I don't necessarily, and again, I will dig in. I'll spend the night digging in to as much video as I can find. But I don't know if I necessarily think that the command is there, right? Like, just because you throw strikes doesn't necessarily mean you're good. He has good size. He gets a lot of swings and misses. It doesn't seem like, when you look at what everybody's saying about him, I thought Zach Thompson was a poor man. Apparently the Guardians were very high on this kid for what it's worth. It doesn't mean shit to me. Brad Thompson was pining for a submariner. Apparently, so to that this Mouts, we raise our glass. Oh, did Cermak get? Oh no, that's Oregon. Never mind. That's Beaver. Or no, that's Josh Kasovic, right? Yeah, I like Cermak better than this guy too. Anyways, the Cardinals took another lefty, and it's whatever. And apparently, honestly, I'm kind of disappointed in it. There were more exciting bats out there, and the Cardinals have a lot of really good bats in their organization. But again, this isn't the direction I would go. I have no doubt that he's a player that's going to be better than I'm giving him credit for. But honestly, for me, it's a bit of a letdown. Again, we trust Randy Flores. We trust the scouting department. Hold on. I have to fire off a tweet really fast. But yeah, so that's it. A money-saving pick. Yeah, maybe it's a money-saving pick. Maybe this allows the Cardinals to get aggressive with their third-round pick. I would say look, and if the Guardians were high on him, maybe that means something. I don't know for sure. I hate to be. You're so great, giving John Boy a run for his money. I'm pretty terrible. Someone called him a left-handed McGreevy. Again, I don't think he has that kind of command. Look, let me tell you this, just because a guy walks 22 people over 90 innings or whatever, that doesn't mean they have great command. Like, this is what we worried about with McGreevy, right? So now we're seeing McGreevy let up a bunch of home runs because his breaking ball doesn't break the right way. And, so we're seeing him kind of get touched up, although his command of everything else is really good. It's just, it doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to tell you right now, all the minor leagues I've watched, when you're talking about a two-pitch pitcher, sure, he might make it through the majors real quick. Maybe he's a relief option, but it's not good to only have the slider fastball. It's good. I get it. I'm telling you, like, I'm not trying to be a jerk. This pick is fine. I think it'd be a decent third-round pick. But as a second-round pick with some of the names that were already on there, and again, we'll see how that third round plays out. It's just not for me. Again, he has the size. He has the velocity. Maybe they think the slider. Maybe they think the changeup is better than it is. Again, like, I see what they're doing here, and I appreciate it. I'm not trying to disrespect that move. And again, that team, that organization, those scouts, they know way more than me. But for me, again, you don't know what the slot bonus is going to be, which changes all of this in the first round. If it's the same as like drafting the best player, the Cardinals didn't draft the best player. Again, hopefully they save money on this pick because asking a player to develop a changeup is not easy. Maybe they think that they can involve a cutter with a slider. Maybe they think they can get a changeup or a curveball in there. Again, I think that this is the kind of pick that if you have 3 picks in the top 60, you don't feel as bad about taking. But when you have 3 picks in the top 97 or whatever the Cardinals have, like, that's a dangerous pick. It's a dangerous pick. The other thing I want to say too is the Cardinals have actually had a lot of trouble drafting starting pitching outside of the first round, right? Griffin Roberts hasn't panned out. And not to like bust their balls, but they've made some really poor decisions selecting pitching. Austin Love, Tony Losi, like some of these guys are not, and again, those were third rounders, but like they haven't done particularly well with this area in starting pitching. I think they're trying to outthink the system a little bit, and I think it's going to fucking burn them this time. So here's to, honestly, here's to Tucker Tomlin, here's to Judd Fabian. The Cardinals should have done way better. Now, as Ryan Olson says on YouTube, you got to assume Tucker Tomlin is going to LSU now, right? Again, that would be my guess. Maybe his shit was too high. Maybe he was asking for too much. I can't really say. I would assume that he was asking for too high of a price, and that's why he got there. Maybe the same thing could be said about Judd Fabian. I don't know. Again, there were a lot of guys at that spot that I really liked. I like Walter Ford better than I like this young man, and I'm not trying to bust his balls. I think he's a really interesting guy. I just think that I think what you're asking him to be is more than what you should for a second rounder. Again, I don't mean that to get on it. I like so much more than just that. How's the boy auction going? It's going well, intern Maddie. We are auctioning off all of the boys 22 and under. When do we pick next? What's the number? I think it's 97, right? It's 97 or 95. Even the White Sox just took Peyton Pillette. Coming off of an injury, a really talented 97th overall, a really talented pitcher. I don't know. I just like so much more out there than that pick. I don't know. It just seems like another pick where maybe the Cardinals are trying to outthink the system. Sharon Albashon says, seriously, do you think Cards could put trade package together to get Jackson Holiday from Baltimore? That's not how it works. Almost certainly not. The Blind Homer says, Randy is going to return that promise ring, Kyle. Yeah, maybe. Who cares, honestly? Look, if I can't call it even, if I can't call it straight, then I'm not going to call it at all. And while I think that the kid's a fine pitcher, he's a fine pitcher in the third round. He's not a fine pitcher in the second round. There are plenty of other options there, and it's honestly kind of a letdown. I like lefties that throw 97 miles an hour. That's awesome. I like lefties that do fastball slider. That's awesome. But without a third pitch, it doesn't do you any good, especially in the second round. What did we learn from Griffin Roberts? Sure, he might have improved his command. He might have a plus secondary offering. But without a third offering, command goes to shit, and advanced hitters smoke it. And if Mike McGreevy is having trouble at AA, then this kid is fucked. He's not going to have the same success. So to me, again, it's a decent pick. They should have and could have done better. I guess it just all comes down to how much money they're spending on him. I even like Tristan Vierling from Gonzaga more than I like him. But again, I'm not trying to sound smarter than the Cardinals organization. They do this better than anyone. So I should probably keep my mouth shut more than anything. Josh Neary says, Kyle, if you had the first overall pick, who would you pick? It just depends on how much every one of those guys was willing to settle for. So I would say that it all depends on, say that I could get Eli Green for $6 million. I'd probably take Eli Green. If I could get Brooks Lee for $4 million, I probably would have took Brooks Lee. It just depends on how much every one of those guys would have cost. Randy going to return. Jacob Mizrowski to Milwaukee. Yeah, the kid from the east or the west side of the state of Missouri, Jacob Mizrowski, goes to Milwaukee. Milwaukee's having a good draft. I would have liked Mizrowski better than I would have liked Bryson Mounts. Again, Mounts will get in the system, and I'll probably pay more attention to him and like him a lot more. But again, I can't wait to see what these bonuses look like. Darkness 88881 says this pick only makes sense if it's money saving. Yeah, or, we say that, but maybe the Cardinals model's different. Maybe the Cardinals say he has a formidable third offering. Maybe they think that they can develop a formal third offering with him. I just know that his best start came against Vanderbilt, and and he dominated Vanderbilt. And if the Cardinals are overvaluing that start against Vanderbilt, which doesn't sound like a Cardinal thing to do, then they're making a mistake. Again, they know way more than I do. I'm probably, I'm speaking out of turn when I say the things that I'm saying. I just think that, it's whatever. Burnback says, refreshing to hear someone be honest about a pick. Thank you for your service, Kyle. Yeah, I always try to be honest. I always try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I always try to, I always try to give every perspective that I possibly can. That's why, sometimes if I get defending the organization or the front office, I'm just trying to give a practical explanation for why they do what they do. I'm not saying I agree with it, but a lot of times I'm just trying to give a practical explanation for it. What I will say is that I just like so much more. And again, that's to say, and I keep saying the same shit over and over again, and I'm probably going to end up just ending the podcast here in just a second. But the issue that I have with this is just it's simply that I just like so many other players at that spot better, and more than likely those players that I like better. Ted Word says nice shirt. Those players that I like better are just harder to sign. So that's it. Look, again, that was only a 20-minute little blurb. What I will say is about Bryson Mounts is even though we have our criticisms of the pick, we're going to step back. We're going to give him every opportunity to develop a third offering or to speed through the organization as a fastball slider dominating lefty man who, probably gets some strikeouts of righties and gets time to develop. He'll start in the organization and he'll probably roll through the minor leagues, I would think, until he gets to Springfield. And then I would imagine that's where the struggle will come in. It's a solid pick. It's not a great pick. But again, it all comes down to what these guys are willing to sign for. If the Cardinals think that they can get somebody to fall to them in the third round and he only cost $700K, maybe it's a good move. It's a better move than we're giving him credit for. What I will say is the Cardinals do better in rounds 3 through 10 than almost everybody. So, we'll wait and see what they do. Again, Mounts is a decent pitcher. He's a good pitcher who has a lot to go on. He has good size, commands the ball well, although, again, he gets hammered too. And I have those specific notes from somebody that I trust, not affiliated with the Cardinals. There's just a lot of guys I would have gone in that direction. He's going to be fine. And here's to keeping an eye on him and hoping I'm wrong. We can look back on this and laugh about it. The last thing I will say is the grave of Einstein says, tell me honestly, how good a pick would Ben Joyce be? In the third round, I don't have an issue with it. I'm sure somebody will gobble him up here before the end of day one. But we'll see. 97th overall, it wouldn't be bad if you wanted to speed him to the majors. His fastball is fast. But and I know his slider has some good metrics to it, but it's just not for me. Specifically. Hold on. Anyway, so yeah, that's what we'll see. We'll see what happens with Ben Joyce. I think he's got some good stuff. I think an organization will take him that thinks that they can get him to the majors real quick, and hopefully it pans out because we root for everybody. Just like with this Mounts kid. Like again, I have my criticisms, and I keep this. I hate doubling back to Bryson Mounts, and I hate doubling back to saying the same stuff. I think he's a little older, right? Am I wrong about that? Hold on. No, he's 21. He just turned 21. How funny. Yeah. Anyway, so that's it. I've got nothing else to say, or else I'm just going to continue to be negative. Carson Whisenhunt in the third. I don't know. I'd love to see what they do with Whisenhunt. I'd love to see where he falls. Maybe they're trying to hold off for something like that. I'm not sure. Ted Word in a bunch of numbers says, at what point do you think the Cardinals will realize they have a lot of left-handed pitching? I don't think you can ever have too much pitching. I don't think you can ever have too much left-handed pitching or right-handed pitching. I think you just get the best arms that you can get and get them in the organization. Do the Cards pick again tonight? No, this is the last pick tonight. Nolan Winkleman. J. David Reed says, we did this recently. First pick was exciting. Second, a letdown. Third fell to us, and we had cash. No, the last time that we had a kind of a draft like this, the Cardinals normally have a competitive balance pick, and this year they don't. I guess they did then, but like the last time they went in this direction was kind of like Nolan Gorman at slot, and then Griffin Roberts, who was like 47th overall, and then Luken Baker, who like in the like day one, in those first two rounds rather. So, yeah, it's kind of the same, kind of different. Again, like if you like fastball throwing, if you like hard throwing lefties, then Bryson Mounts is your guy who has a slider to match it. Your guy, maybe he ends up being a really solid bullpen pitcher down the line. similar to what they hoped Griffin Roberts would be. And hopefully Griffin Roberts is healthy and is on the right track. But look, that's all I have for you. Again, 25 minutes of me rambling and saying the same stuff. Look, I don't think that this is a bad pick just because it's not a player that I'm as familiar with. I'm not saying that. I'm not even saying it's a bad pick. I'm saying specifically just to kind of round this night out, to round my thoughts out. My thoughts about this pick is that depending on what their MO is here, depending on the signing, it's a bit of a letdown. This young man is incredibly talented, and he has a lot of things that everybody is really excited about. I like other players that are available at that spot, but I don't have the numbers on them. And let's get really excited about what the Cardinals might do on day 2 of the draft, specifically in rounds 3 through 10. I'm going to take one sip. I'm going to tell everybody again, thank you for being in here for round 2 of Prospects After Dark. To everybody, Birds on the Black, everybody at Prospects After Dark, I raise my glass. We have a couple more. Yeah, so that's about it. Aaron Johnson over on YouTube says, if you're the Cardinals and know you're good at drafting rounds 3 through 10 and you don't think you can sign certain players that you have higher on the board, you could see them going with an under cap pick here. Maybe. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, right? Because then that allows you to, I'm going to recap Aaron's point. Aaron says, if you're the Cards and know you're good at drafting 3 through 10 in the rounds, and you don't think you can sign certain players that you have higher on the board, could you see them going with an under cap pick here? And yeah, that would make sense, right? Because like last year, you get Alec Willis at $1 million in round 7. This could potentially set that up, but I guess it just depends on how much he wants at this spot. Again, it all comes down to draft bonus. If drafting this Bryson Mounts right now allows them to draft somebody else down the line, then it's a good pick, a good smart pick, and nothing but positives can come of it. Even if hold on, I'm not even paying attention. The Giants took Carson Whisenhunt. Hopefully he's got his shit together. I'm not really the world's biggest Carson Whisenhunt fan, so it's interesting. The Astros took Jacob Milton, and Tampa Bay took Brock Jones. I don't know how I feel about Brock Jones either. But look, again, for everybody at Prospects After Dark, everybody at Birds on the Black, I've rambled too long. Look, trust the Cardinals. Trust the Cardinals more than you trust me, especially the scouting staff, especially Randy Flores, even though they've really struggled with the 2nd and 3rd round picks outside of the 2020 draft, which was so spectacular. But, 2021 was kind of a mess. With Ryan Holgate in particular, Austin Love, and then 2019, Tony Losey was their 3rd round pick. Trey Fletcher was their 2nd round pick. In 2018, they did some good stuff in 2018. So anyways, just trust in them. They know what they're doing. I've got nothing else to say. I've been talking too much. GM Gersh has great pick. Judd Fabian to Baltimore. To everybody at Birds, from everybody at Birds on the Black, everybody at Prospects After Dark, I raise my glass. Let's have a great day tomorrow with day 2, rounds 3 through 10, and all of rounds 3 through 20. To everybody, we say thank you. Thank you for being here. Go Cardinals. Go Bryson Mounts. All right, I love you guys. That's all I got for you. Have a great night. Happy hunting. I hope to have as many write-ups for you guys as I can in the very, very near future, which probably will be never. See you guys.